start recording on what may be our last session. A little recap, and this is primarily for Shelby, who missed last week. Session 45. The party lamented the state of Witherbloom University in the most recent timeline, with Ovi and MacGruber's ancestries and families now lost to time and the malcontent of the current student body. There were precious few solutions that felt satisfying. Should they siege Beladros's fortress? Should they confront 70-year-old Geordie in this timeline? Should they become a new resistance? The idea that found a foothold, however, was to return to the year zero and stop Geordie or his multiple iterations from killing the founder dragon eggs. The gravity of this decision weighed on them all, especially Ovi, who resolved, should the party succeed, to stay in the year zero and raise the dragons himself. Indigo followed suit. Garrett used his wish spell to take the party plus Bracken back, and upon arrival they encountered a 40-year-old and 60-year-old pair of Geordies. The 40-year-old Geordie seemed hostile and resolved, but Garrett's plea to the 60-year-old Geordie seemed to make an impression. As the party pummeled the unrepentant younger Geordie, the older one seemed to take stock of his life and choices. In the end, Garrett and Ovi's combined arguments persuaded 60-year-old Geordie. Their promise to take a personal interest in guiding the founder dragons to more ethical and moral worldviews seemed to touch his old and bitter heart. He chose to believe them and committed to making sure that a Geordie of any age would not interfere in their efforts. Ovi and Indigo have committed to stay and raise the baby dragons for some length of time, and the others intend to eventually return to the present to see if the results of their efforts, maybe stopping in time along the way for some peace of mind guarantees. So, in the precious moments after you, 60-year-old Geordie leaves, and you were all standing there, I want to remind you, the dragon eggs have not hatched and are not probably set to imminently hatch. So, you are basically on the world of Arcavios, which is mostly uninhabited, and you are in a fairly desolate area standing by a nest of dragon eggs. What do you do first?
There's
not even like bodies to loot. That stinks.
40-year-old Geordie is here.
He's got remains.
Yeah, let's loot his body.
He did use his one.
Okay.
Used his one magic item. There's not a replenishing the sand.
Okay.
Let's say he's got money. Who wants money?
Me.
No, I'm good.
So do you sit on these eggs? We gotta incubate them?
I don't think we have to incubate them.
Okay.
Just watch them.
Probably make camp.
I brought a deck of cards.
Wait, hear me out. Can
A
we
deck of many things, Drake.
our money to something now that we know will be lucrative in the future?
Oh,
Yeah, can we
you
get
tried to
something?
You tried to
What
sports
doesn't
almanac
exist
this?
Drew, you're an artificer. Like, make something.
Yeah, bro. Artifice.
I'll make the first watch. It'll be huge.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the Hercules, the cartoon Hercules? She's like indoor plumbing. It's gotta be big.
What does anybody have like mold, earth, or anything?
I probably do,
I
actually.
probably do.
Can we just bury the body of 40-year-old Geordie? I don't want.
Oh, I'm not using it for that. Dude can get wrecked.
Hold
Okay.
on,
You
hold
can,
on, hold
like,
on.
burn it.
Oh yeah, fireball, I got it.
I think he probably was. He's been on fire multiple times during that fight, right?
Probably.
Wall of fire, fireball.
I mean, I
laser
killed him.
cannon.
I killed him with a laser rifle. I don't know how much Geordie's left.
Hattie, you and MacGruber had a pretty sweet, like, final blow there. What's the Mortal Kombat finishing move?
Fatality.
Fatality, thank you. Here's one thing I'll tell you. As we go, we're going to go through kind of just a couple of things right here that you would know. But given where you are at level 13, it will take 10 years to reach level 20 for your character. That 10 years can happen at any point in time, but just 10 years from now. I know we leveled up really quickly for a year, but that's more realistic. You're learning highly sophisticated magic. No matter how you learn it, the time will take place. So as you're thinking about the next steps and how long you want to stay places or whatever, think about what your character looks like at level 20 and the magic you might learn at level 20.
Wow.
Because that might, I don't know, might change some things of what you can or may not can and can't do.
It's not going to be 20 years for the eggs to hatch and create the snowballs.
No. It won't. It absolutely won't. It's probably a matter of maybe a month or so before a month or two before the eggs hatch.
And you're
we're
not
going to go
staying
there.
for 10 years.
Right?
No,
So-
I'll probably at least stay for the hatching, though.
Okay.
Aw.
Well, you have to.
like,
Yeah, do we need to like
Party.
stick around and make sure that like these
I'll make
eggs
a
are
cake.
safe from like any other perpetrators?
Also, I was thinking about the body. What if I conjure like a vulture or something just to like eat the remains?
Done.
Fine. As
Great.
long as I don't have to smell the stench happening near the eggs in our little hut, whatever that I'm going to start building.
So
That's
what are we gonna
actually
do
great.
for food?
Sure.
And
We need to set up a
like
camp.
the survivalist stuff.
Yeah. Yep. All those
Can I
things.
buy water?
We should probably find some. I didn't think about water.
There is based on where you are
This whole freaking
and what you saw this look like 2,800 years from now, most of the landscape is the result of this incredible saturation of magic that happens in this place. Okay? You're near these snarls. Snarls exacerbate things. But the one natural resource is there is a massive body of water. In the original map, it separated Lorehold and Witherbloom. And y'all never had any reason to go there. But that is one thing you do see. Witherbloom Wilds, that magic and the forests and all these hexes and all stuff, that was the result of magical saturation. So there are like copses of trees, and there's probably some wild animals that you could hunt. I mean, you've got a ranger with you and stuff. So if you want to kind of build a domicile or start, all that kind of stuff,
That'd be
you
fun.
can do that.
Absolutely.
I would love a hut.
Like little Swiss Family Robinson style or whatnot.
I'm going to. Never mind. With just 11, begin trying to get together some materials. Not to start building, but like to build a campfire and
Are you
procure
insulted?
some water.
I'm insulted.
About what?
We have a fire cantrip.
Sure. So do I, but I mean like gathering resources. I'm not saying like
Keep it going.
we gotta have wood. We
Okay.
gotta right. So I'm trying to build a base.
Okay.
It's not great.
Is
but I'm
anyone
getting
like
there.
kind of prissy about being out in the wild? Like I feel like Indigo's not too like worried about eating a squirrel. Okay.
I mean, the food part's probably the most prissy I'm gonna be.
For MacGruber, yeah.
So you've got really hardy
Look
women in
at
this
these from
group
the
that
woods,
grew up in the
so-
woods, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah, and it's our job to provide the food.
I mean, I grew up.
Like you two were like
Let's
silver
go
spoon,
gather.
and then poor Garrett.
Should we go get some berries?
Berries.
We got a shepherdess and a ranger and
Your
retriever.
And a badass. Good job. Yeah, I like that.
I mean, I was in Orchidshire with my mom's wedding dress shop, so I'm a little sheltered.
True, but like I think you have a better connection to nature than a lot of
Correct.
us.
Yes, that's
You're
a bit true.
adapting a lot better. Fair. So we begin setting up a camp, a base.
Okay. Anything you want to do before the eggs hatch, in addition to just setting up a spot? And coming
maybe
up
I'd
with a
just go ahead
routine.
and set up some snares, just for the hell of it.
Okay.
So I do have a question. So you guys are obviously gonna father these dragons
Dad?
to forever.
2 daddies.
I'd like to travel into the future and make sure everything's hunky-dory. We got like a good idea when that would be. Is it gonna be the same timeline? Is your fathering of the eggs gonna change everything we know?
I guess I hope so.
See, that's why I wouldn't put any bets on sports, because I think we're going to change some things, hopefully, with Witherbloom's situation.
Yeah, I mean, can you like?
It's not even good at Mage Tower anymore.
Indigo's missing bacon.
Remember Bracken's with you as well.
I forgot Bracken was
All
here.
right, yeah.
And just-
Bracken's just like standing there.
Sorry, us as the Tap Pack just do this sometime and forget other people are in the room.
That's why no one
When
likes
you-
us.
When you guys raise these baby dragons, can you like mention our names so that like when we go to the future, we're like already pretty well established as like the heroes and like
No. There's no
That's gonna
mention
confuse
your
them.
name. There's going to be drilled into their skulls
Great,
concept.
great,
And
got
not
it.
just that, like,
brainwashing
my whole
propaganda.
families, they weren't just courtesans, right? They were like political people that routinely brought opposite sides together for a dinner and a conversation. That was my life. So
Yeah.
I think my goal is to teach these dragons you're opposites and like you need each other for balance. That's the whole goal. So and to
okay.
let them know eventually that, you know, y'all are going to appear for a purpose of saying, listen, because if you're not working together in a good way or making better choices, this is going to unravel. And here's
like
the
how
decisions.
important are we going to be? Like if we go back to Strixhaven, are there statues of us? Are there like portraits? Is there a picture of me and Prismari now?
We'll have to find out.
Yeah, you gotta like re-earn it, I think.
Oh, damn. All right.
So do we think
I mean, there's gonna be
is
statues of
Grant-
us,
Is
for
Grant still
sure.
gonna run run Witherbloom?
Yeah,
Is
I
that
think
we
all the
just hope she doesn't
schools.
suck.
Yeah, I think she will not be as jaded due to being overlooked as much as she was.
Yeah, I
for
feel like if
thousands.
Shadrax didn't treat her like shit for her whole life,
Okay.
maybe
Did
she
we
wouldn't
land
do that.
on how much of an influence she had on your parents' divorce?
Oh, that's a good question.
Would like to know that, Hattie.
What do you think?
Can we roll a D100 for it?
Go for it. Why not?
It's like, if you just
Well, actually, hold that
would
thought
be
because I want to ask some bigger, high-level questions. Because
Okay.
the Strixhaven you arrived at had 5 unique schools that focused. The whole point was to focus on the two extremes, trying to teach balance somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, each one.
The schools you encountered and subsequently the people that you knew honestly didn't necessarily embody pure balance between them in almost any respect. You know, Velomachus might have been between order and chaos, but he really seemed to lean towards order. Shadrax, you know, light and dark, I don't know if I fully know that he was really, really one or the other. And did he really believe that, like, bad was bad and good was good? You know, Belladros actually did seem to embrace the cycles of life, to her credit, I guess, somehow, but seemed very comfortable with the death being very final. So you have these very separate entities. There are boundaries between these schools. There are these extremes that they're trying to focus on somewhat independently. You have this introduction of an oracle figure that they give all the secrets of magic to. The oracle is told to go and parlay, make Strixhaven this nexus, this connection to everywhere, whether it be the good, the heavens, the hells, and everything kind of in between. You have this somewhat democratic process that's not really democratic because the founders still get to choose and they don't have to really listen to kind of the selection. What I want you to, the reason I'm recapping all of that is, well, and even some of these like principles and policies that, you know, were highly destructive to things with not being able to intervene, all this kind of stuff. If you're going to mold, how much do you want to tell the dragons as they're growing about what you know of the future? And if you could guide them in any way, what would be the entity? Is it even a school anymore? Is there any charity or sense of using powers for good? Any of these things that Strixhaven was criticized for, what principles would you imbue in them? And I'm asking everybody, not just necessarily Ovi and Indigo, but as y'all are strategizing of how to impact this for the better, what would you encourage them to make and create and use this incredible power for?
I know one of McGruber's ideas, I was going to roll it into my epilogue, was to create like a Ministry of Magic, like an oversight over Strixhaven that is like the diplomacy branch of magic that like, kind of like Hogwarts was. It is a very important institution, but it is not like carte blanche
Yeah.
above.
There's a democracy to it.
Yes, which red tape will bog them down and frustrate them, but like it'll be something that'll at least
There's
like
accountability.
yes, they'll have to consider it when they make decisions.
And who's they? The dragons would be accountable to them?
Correct. At a certain yeah. Obviously, you'd have to buy some of the dragons in and just the founding of it as an idea in the first place. Like the willingness for them to allow themselves to. I don't know.
I think that's good, but we have to consider they will always be dragons, and this college is their horde. Dragons are not ever going to share their horde. So either we convince them to, it's fine to start this, but you need to make your horde something else so that humans and all these races can have oversight and actually make the thing, or do something different, because this is the impact of having a horde of students.
Correct, and there's got to be like a safe way, because like it felt like all the oracles were like expand at like, all costs necessary. Like
100%.
Make a pact with the hells, all that, and they'll have to be like
packs of hells, please.
Yeah,
and it's
That's
like, you guys live for forever. There's no need to hoard faster.
right. I think when you talk about returning to the future, definitely returning to the point before we decide to sign off on, go parlay with the hells. I know it was a different oracle.
Correct.
But
If that event still happens, I'd
Right.
like to at least interject before signing on the dotted line. But if we could prevent that idea from even being preached to the oracle as a good idea to do.
I like that. Shelby, Brian, you guys have thoughts?
Here's my thought.
Yeah.
I don't think you have any way of knowing that anything that you do isn't what was already done and how we got where we originally were. And I sort of just like feel like things naturally are going to trend toward chaos no matter what you do. So I have no opinions or votes in this, because I truly think that like nature's going to do what it's going to do and things are going to go the way they're supposed to go. And again, we have no clue that the outcomes we just experienced weren't because we had already done this. So y'all have fun.
This is such a Witherbloom response. It's nature, man. Stop fighting nature.
Yeah, the world gradually trends toward chaos.
The amount of faith you have in destiny sitting next to a dude that has a card that can change it is insane.
Yeah. That's right. You don't need the snarl. You can use the card.
That's
Yeah,
good.
that's Garrett.
Oh, that's Garrett. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I still got it. Don't worry.
And you have big plans for it?
Big. I'd maybe want to use the word, but I have a plan for it.
Do you want to like tell me when to stop?
Yeah.
Shelby, are you suggesting that there should be a failsafe made so that the dragons, if they ever do step out of line, are stopped either magically or somehow? Like, for example, the Auric tattoo said if you ever spoke of it, like, basically you die. Like, that was Jordy's failsafe to keep everyone in line. Is that what you're suggesting?
That was a really kind sentiment to attribute to me, but no, I'm suggesting that we've maybe already done this. And I'm suggesting a very laissez-faire, like, this is going to be what it's going to be, and maybe it already was that way because of what we've done.
This isn't the first time we've attempted this plan.
I do like the idea of somehow...
Anyone can make an Arcana check with that theory if you want.
Okay.
If we could like rope in our temporal exclusion tattoos into like
25.
if the dragons break the world beyond repair, we just reset like we did the lore hole trial, come back here on day 0, kill Jordy again and try again.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, build a time loop.
Yeah.
So we're going to do like a save before the boss battle. We're going to save really quick.
Yes.
If I die, then I
So
get
that if we pick the wrong cutscene, we can just load from the previous save.
But
Yeah.
how, we can't protect it forever.
Right.
I mean, that's what we'd be signing up for.
I don't want to do that.
I mean-
They're certainly welcome to.
18 and 20.
25? So, while chronomancy may not have been a specific magic you studied, what you've learned is that you've experienced now 5 or 6 timelines. Some of them were a little bit smaller than others because Jordy just did a couple of quick turnarounds. But one of the things you noticed is when Jordy came back as an older version of himself, his younger selves did not have to do what they did in their original timeline. They actually were able to make independent decisions. So they didn't have to necessarily time travel to make sure that future Jordy happened the way that it did. Once it happened, everything is new, and every independent Jordy was able to make decisions with the information that they were presented. So in essence, to Ovi and maybe your chagrin, there is no reality where you go back and none of this ever happens. So everything if you had already done this, there would be another version of yourselves here that you would be encountering, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
The fact that there isn't leads you to believe that now yourselves might show up here in a minute and, from the future to warn you. Like, you don't know necessarily how that works, but your best theory is that this is the first time this has happened. And if Jordy was able to change things by time traveling that made an impact on the future, you probably could too. I mean, remember, the two Strixhavens you found, one without a Shadrix and one without a Velomachus, all of that happened because Jordy went back to year 0 and killed the eggs, and so all of time happened without those entities there. So,
Yeah.
And now that you have stopped that from happening, something new is going to happen.
Correct.
I think Indigo still feels like pretty hands-off as far as like telling them about the future, but I want them to get along better and feel loved and not feel like they have to compete with each other, and just kind of appreciate the balance. And
We're
know,
gonna do
right
a-
and wrong.
We're going to do a good cop, bad cop thing here.
Okay.
Because I know...
In our family, I'm disciplinarian, Daddy.
Right. Well, I think it's going to definitely be like, hey, Indigo said no fighting. Stop that kind of thing. Where you guys... And then it'd be like, I get that you hate your sister. I get that. You have to figure out a better way. We're both going to have different styles about this, because I want them still to be dragons and fiercely,
Work it out.
but I really want them to figure out, they have balance because of each other's being so opposite. And that is the goal.
Makes sense.
I think we're also going to go slightly insane doing this.
Indigo, are you going to stay as a dragon?
Yeah.
Fire-breathing quintuplets or acid all? Yes.
Yeah.
Who will
They
quickly
will.
have more magical powers than we will very
Yeah.
quickly. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm already a dragon, but whatever.
Indigo, you're staying as a dragon, right?
Yeah, at least for enough for them to imprint on me.
Yeah.
Okay. Because, I feel like there's going to be a power struggle very quickly where they're going to be like, I don't have to listen to you.
You're not my real mom.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have terrible
I'm
twos.
stronger
and
than you are,
16.
so
Yeah.
I'll just kill you and go do what I want to do.
Well, we will see. We will see how it goes.
I mean, how long are you planning on being there? 100 years?
I won't have that long.
Oh.
We'll cross that bridge.
When does a dragon become its own?
Wait,
Mature dragon?
what's the
What's
gestation
the
cycle on a dragon?
puberty look like for a dragon?
When is its prefrontal cortex fully formed?
Does it get armpit
Well, their
hairs?
brains are really small, so it should happen pretty quick.
They will reach. Sorry.
I mean, what were you going to say?
They're going
You know
to.
more dragon lore than I do.
Right. So they're.
I actually
going to-
just typed in, how long do dragons live?
They will reach adult status around 80 to 100 years.
Yeah.
But before that, they have a really long teenage college age period because they go through their infancy really quick and then they're young adults and they last
Yeah.
that from 10
This
to...
sounds fun.
They're going to go through an emo phase.
I
Yep.
mean, I think
It's
I-
not just a phase.
And consider, too, the dragons are closer to demigods than they are dragons.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the dragons have apparently 1,000-year lifespan.
Yeah.
Some
or
of them
take
can live
5.
longer. So the fact that they've been alive for 2,800 years, almost 2,900 years, etc., means that there's something very different. The fact that they were birthed by the gods of dragons, Bahamut and Tiamat, they've got some secret sauce, which is keeping them alive much longer than it should be. But they still have to grow up, right? Because it's D&D and everything, even gods have to learn.
Guys, I'm gonna be honest. I'm tired of chasing timelines and messing with the clock and trying to figure out the future and the past. Like, I just want to go home at this
Go
point.
home.
with Bracken.
Yeah,
As soon
let's
as
do
they
it.
hatch, do it.
It's fine. We got
Yeah.
this.
Where are you and Bracken going to settle down?
I don't know. Bracken's been kind of absent when I've needed him.
It's like she's about to cry.
Really need to like unpack a lot of stuff before I'm willing to be in that space with him. Also, he's
Oh,
like,
sorry. He just was in the negative plane, so we can go out with you.
This is
Delta's
interesting.
going to swoop in.
Yeah, so this is
What's cracking with Bracken?
this is a valid question because in our epilogue, Hattie, we were gonna do some things. So do I have to now do some things with Bracken? You know, like
Were you guys
Whoa!
Were you guys about to thruple Bracken?
What?
I mean,
I was
actually,
not planning on him like being there for the switch, for the switches. So like,
I mean, yeah, I was just saying though, like, I'm not ready to like
Okay.
settle down with Bracken. Like, oh my god, guys, you don't just like marry the first man that you kiss. Jesus.
I just wanted to make sure.
Bracken's
that
standing there just like,
Thanks, guys.
okay, I gave up my whole existence for you, but
he's just
whatever.
Like tapping the eggs like anytime now.
Yeah,
I mean, where was he in that boss fight?
Oh, he was on point.
Yeah, he did some acid
He made a
bath
few
stuff.
big moves. Yeah.
Where were you?
Yeah.
Okay.
She also made some big moves.
I don't know. I want to keep my options open, and based on some of my epilogue plans, I maybe need to be smart about how.
Definitely use protection.
Okay.
Okay.
So what you're saying is I'm not gonna have to with Bracken.
I mean, if you want to, I think that option
But he's
would
gonna
be
think
there.
it's you while
Okay.
doing the
I think we could tell him, like, maybe he's into it.
Are you guys literally
Like,
gonna
not
face off? Are you?
You're like 21. Like, you
Yeah.
can tell the difference. You're not that
Well,
identical.
he couldn't in the Orchid Shire.
That's true. This is true. He couldn't-
Well, what
There's
happened in the
definitely
Orchid
cases.
Shire?
Well, he didn't know there were two of you in his defense.
Yeah, I guess that's also true. But I mean,
I think we play it by ear. If
Okay.
he's into it, then fine.
Epilogues can cover the rest of your life.
You don't have to commit to him.
okay, good.
Let's fast forward to these epilogues, apparently.
Do
Seriously.
you and Bracken have this conversation right here, right now? Like, do you break up with Bracken before we go back to a regular time?
Yes.
Yeah, just let me be tied down.
You break
I
up
know we're
with
the
him
only
at
two
beginning
fairies
of
in
time.
existence, but
We kind of drove him here, so he kind of needs to.
you're my ride.
Can we call you an Uber?
We can't dump Bracken right now.
Bracken, do you happen to have a wish spell?
Dumping him. I'm just not, like, down on a knee, guys. Fuck. When did you guys get so fucking monogamous? Like, oh my god.
Ooh, are fairies monogamous in our world? I don't know.
I hope not.
I don't think.
You hope not.
Kidding. Sorry. I do have a wish spell if we need to wish Bracken away.
I
Whoa.
also
Whoa. I'm not getting stuck here to die and drag in 70 years just because we had to get rid of
Go with
Bracken,
my bro
and that's the
Bracken.
only way out of here.
You even invited this guy.
Should
Oh my gosh.
hold on.
I think we settle down with Shoo Shoo. I don't know.
Wait, is my wish spell how we get out of here?
One of yours two. You and Hetty have wishes left.
There's
Oh,
only
see?
2 left, and we need
We
at
send
least
Bracken
one of
one
them
way,
to
I go
die.
the other. It's fine.
You still can't use them until the eggs hatch. Because
Because there's no snarls yet.
The snarls.
Yes, of course. Yes, that's how we're hanging.
Right.
Oh, Beth Bracken has to stay there.
Oh,
Yeah,
so we have some opportunities to just kind of see what happens.
We're
So-
gonna be bored.
For the sake of knowing, wish spells are available
Sex with Bracken.
at level 17 to 20, but only available to sorcerers and wizards. So Garrett theoretically could learn at level 20 in 10 years how to cast a wish spell. Just gonna
Wow.
throw that out there.
How are we gonna get back?
I was planning.
Wait, one spell doesn't get us all back?
I was
One would
planning
get you
on
back. Yeah.
Once.
But we
So
only have
that's
a
I'm
couple
saying,
left.
like,
yeah.
things,
Strong.
you're talking about things being very final.
We feel like we're making progress.
Time.
Oh my
It
god,
is
you
time.
do a wish spell every
Genies can
day.
do wish spells, and they would exist here somewhere. The dragons can. We can certainly contact one with the dragon's aid.
Okay. Cool. I didn't think about that. We wouldn't have any more.
We
wishes.
might have to do some questing to appease the genie in order he gives it, but like we can.
That sounds fun. It was right up your alley.
We can say that that's what we're gonna do.
I'm ready to go back to the future. I'm gonna pull out my key though, and I'm gonna give it to Ovi as like a token of like, you can. This is like a thing
it
from
out.
the
Haven.
dragons. Like,
You-
I don't need it. Bring it to me in the future.
Oh man,
Oh,
You can design it however you want. It could be like a dragon playpen.
are you? Thank you.
Wait,
This is
what are you giving
massive.
him?
His little
Yeah, my
key.
key to
His secret room.
the
To the
to
dive
the
bar.
dive bar.
I just gotta
Like,
bring it to you in the future.
yeah.
Wait,
As like it's more of like a don't get yourself killed. Like
Yeah.
it isn't goodbye. It's see you later.
okay.
MacGruber's picking up on the funeral gifts thing, and he
Oh, why are we doing that?
he pulls Piper off his back and pops her up, and is like, "You guys need all the hands you can get."
Oh,
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh my
I don't have.
gosh.
You can never change that infusion.
No.
Otherwise, he's gone.
Why would I?
I mean, it's only gonna be a minute for you, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Do you want a gift of mine?
What?
I didn't come with anything.
I'm just gonna shotgun into the air.
It's like a baby shower. It's our baby shower.
You.
Yeah.
I didn't check the registry.
Does anyone have like a Fates card that would be on our registry?
I left it on my.
What are you
It's in my
doing?
other coat.
Any Revivify cloaks, perhaps?
Oh yeah, you can have mine.
Cool.
Oh wait, I
thanks.
don't have one.
There's two. There were what? Two left.
Sick burn.
I still have
Yeah.
mine.
You have yours. Somebody else.
I've had
did-
mine this whole time.
Had what?
You've had yours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seriously?
Had what?
My Revivify cloak.
Oh yeah.
He did not share with you, of all people.
No.
I shared
Well,
with
she
you.
burned
Oh,
like
and
two or
you're
three
wearing
in
one
like a 3 weeks.
right now,
You're
right?
wearing someone
I don't have
else's.
anything to give them.
It's fine. You don't.
Hold on,
We're good.
I have a
Just
belt
hold them like
of
boobs
cloud
really quick.
strength that ups your guys' strength in case you need to, like, I don't know.
Wrestle a baby dragon.
Or I have a necklace that I wear that you can breathe normally in any environment.
Oh, I have that.
Delta's just going through
Okay.
like a bag of
Use
shit
that.
looking for stuff.
But I don't
I
know,
also have like the Stratera opens.
No, you shouldn't. This is
I
fine.
could.
But I
Give
can give
you
my
guys
belt because I'm not
Kraken.
going to fight a lot anymore.
No,
so
no,
if I
really,
fight my
really, you've
belt-
done enough.
Thank
It's
you,
okay.
thank you.
Really,
That's
it's
You
that's very
can't give them a person.
that's very slave tradery. I don't know how I feel about that.
Guys, I have a really great gift. Bracken. So many things. He's so handy.
Oh.
He's gonna just kill it here.
So.
So handy.
It's okay. I wasn't trying to like make a thing. I just wanted to like.
Yeah, this is awkward. I really have been trying to go home for the past like 20 minutes.
We can go home
And now
now.
we're like giving presents and shit. I'm getting really
We can go
uncomfortable.
home. I just
Wait,
am
we
worried.
haven't
I
even
want to
learned
make
how.
sure.
There is no home. There's no home for what?
Yeah,
10
we
years?
we
Yeah, go
obviously
check it out, see
don't
what
give
it's
the
like.
gifts until the eggs have hatched.
We
Can
only
we
have
still?
a month,
Oh, that's
right?
just a little beacon.
So
Yeah, we'll wait till the eggs hatch.
so basically, we just
I think she's
survived.
looking at you.
Oh, hi.
Hey, could you like real quick just like stand up and slap your legs and say, well,
Well, oh, you about ready?
And
So-
on that note,
Yeah.
About 3 or 4 weeks go by, and all of a sudden the day comes, and you begin to see the garnet red egg of Velomachus begin to hatch. One by one, as they begin to hatch, you begin to see incredible power released as this giant ball of a snarl in the weave flies up into the air and explodes, and you see exactly 5 different little snarls spin off. A couple of them go deep underground. Some of them go here, and one of them's nearby here. And one by one, the dragons come out, and they see the purple dragon form of Indigo, and all of you standing there watching. Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Guidance.
Have you had that this whole time?
I got a natural
Yeah, why
20.
am
No way!
Without advantage.
Awesome. Okay, the dragons are enamored with you, and like little baby ducklings flock to you on their little hands and legs and whatever as their wings are starting to dry out. You have won them over very, very quickly. Are y'all leaving immediately, or do y'all want to give it a couple days or weeks, months, years before you decide to go?
A day or two to see what a dragon does.
Yeah, I'm interested in a baby
My
dragon.
natural magic curiosities would like to see.
But are we
Just
overstaying
build
our
some
welcome
nests,
now? Now is it like it's time to go?
Like, I'd like them to remember our faces.
Yeah, because I feel like dragons are born pretty intelligent. Like they're children, but
In
they're
a matter
already-
of days, they're already starting to talk.
Right.
Oh, how
So
fun to see.
they quickly learn your names, which helps us have a conversation about each of you and help prepare them for the future.
Are there pictures of us somewhere?
Yeah, let's take a selfie real quick.
With whatever
You've got a
illusion-
tinkering device. I'm sure
Yeah.
your magical tinkering can do little...
I at least want our portraits in the key room, in the tavern.
That's
Okay.
okay.
I'd like to preface MacGruber hugs one of these dragons really fast.
On the ground.
Why are you hugging him?
You did not die.
He's making up for Cece.
Oh, for God's sake.
Well,
Okay.
Yep.
So
I'm no longer one.
so how long do the 4 of you with Bracken want to stay?
I think just a couple days.
And then you're going to be ready to go. Okay. As the
Um,
day
now we
comes...
over the gifts and say, "We'll see you later."
Yeah.
This isn't goodbye. This is see you later.
See you in a minute.
I'm sure it'll be
You had
much
me at hello.
longer
Who's
for
wish?
us.
Who's casting the wish spell? Hattie or Delta?
I will.
Delta. So as you split the party, which is always a good idea, you begin to wish your spell. Where do you wish to go?
MacGruber would vote for when the Silver Quill Oracle,
Wait,
Silver
don't we
Quill
all have to go to
Oracle.
the same place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
He's
my
proposed.
God.
Y'all going back to the future? So Kuldana Melchizedek was the oracle. It was 1750 to 1850.
That's what MacGruber pitches as a.
So we're gonna like test
the
out and
hell's
see if
bag.
things are going in the right direction first before we go fully to the future.
Yeah, and if we
Like do like a side trip of like, are we on track here? Cool. All right.
yeah, and if not, we can do some more meddling at that time.
Okay. Like quick pit stop.
And I heard rumor that a guy named Garrett can make another wish spell if we need to keep going.
Well, it'll take him 10 years. But then you'll have Hattie's.
Yeah.
So has Hattie agreed to this?
Sure.
It's like my life.
So as you cast this wish spell, wishing to go to the year 1750 to check on progress, the 4 of you plus Bracken disappear. Before we go there, though, I want to spend a hot minute with Ovi and Indigo and the dragons.
Oh, beautiful.
And as the days and initial first weeks go by, you begin quickly to see these 5 personalities begin to develop. After only a few weeks, they start to communicate and act more like 4 and 5-year-olds. And you start to see the kind of peacemaking Velamachus. You see the energetic Shadrax and the principled Belladros. You see them play together, and in their moments when they're great. They're even better together than they are apart. But man, when there's fireworks as image and competition comes up against principles and right and wrong. You see sweet little Tanazir begin to make her first few mechanical pieces, working with MacGruber, as you begin to teach her natural curiosity for the mechanics of things. You see the dramatic and garish Galazeth begin to come and by far the most emotional of the group, as he begins to understand his emotions and his uniqueness. And you see these 5 personalities, again, at that age where nothing is really permanent and there's no real grudges. They're just learning how to interact with one another. And as the next couple months and the next couple years go by, you begin to see them start to develop bigger thoughts as they're starting to learn magic and begin to explore their various interests. Galazeth is an adventurer and wants to go on quests and see what there is to see, and is the one pushing to explore the boundaries. Belladros plants her first tree and names it Willow Dusk, who becomes animated and grows into her best friend. And you see this little Iron Groot kind of following her around everywhere as Willow Dusk begins to learn how to act and like a sentient human being. And Belladros begins to amass animals and just has a natural magnetic attraction to these creatures. You see Shadrax start to ask a lot more questions about gods and the divine and light and dark, and so curious about where your magic comes from, Ovi. And as y'all get into deep philosophical conversations, Velamachus is, looking at exploring and learning and charting, and quickly you see him learning to write and catalog the things that happen. And you begin to see this interest in history and study and being a study of human nature and creature nature, as y'all begin to occasionally go visit civilizations and begin to understand just how the world works. And it's not but a couple years in that they start asking questions and starting to piece together that y'all it doesn't make sense that you're here, and start asking who are you and why are you here? And while they think of you as their parents, they begin to get smart enough to understand that this doesn't make sense. And I'm going to just pause there. What do you tell them?
First of all, I'm wondering, are we doing like an Aurora thing where we raise them like without magic?
Oh no, full on magic.
Aurora.
I can't do it without that. Right, no, I was tracking with you. I think, don't you think we would debate about this quite a lot behind their backs?
Yeah, we would have talked about this.
Yeah, I think we would
in the bar
for sure come to a conclusion. I think Ovi's stance would be we don't ever lie. So when the point comes and we're directly asked, we tell them and say, I can't prepare you for all the decisions that you're going to make, but this is why it's so important that you learn to respect your sister and disagree, and hang on, right?
Yeah, and to model like love and make sure that they know that it's good to get along.
And with great power comes responsibility.
Yeah.
Is there a way, just before this all happened?
Yes.
Like in Harry Potter, they have like photo picture frames that like are interactive and like
Yes.
we could just like pop in. Is that like a thing we could do? Like whenever like we miss you guys, we could just pop in a photo into the bar and just like peek and say.
But it's literally going to be seconds for you, right?
How would you time it?
Yeah.
With your
No.
current skill level, probably not.
Okay.
But given enough time, why not? There's spells that can send things like send items. It's called Galder's Speedy Courier, right? That can send things across the plains. Like, who knows? With 9th level magic and dragons, like, why not? Why not come up with a magic mirror that you can talk to other times? Like,
But
that's the whole point of Strixhaven, is edgy magic and trying to do things that have never been thought of before.
sure.
But it can't happen right away.
Okay.
But sure.
But it feels right away for us.
For
Well,
it would feel
it's
right away for
multiple years
us.
at this point.
Yeah, for them, like literally, they cast the spell and it's over. Anyway, we'll see.
Back on. Go,
Yeah.
Go for it.
That's the
So
point, right?
you're going to tell them the truth. It's
We
a
tell the
cautionary tale,
right.
right? So you teach them about your tattoos
Yeah.
and your ancestors that gave them to you.
Stressing. This is where we really bring in the rest of the Tap Pack,
Mm-hmm.
talking about how they got pulled in.
And inside the door, you're able to
Yeah.
kind of have a gallery, because it can be inside whatever you want. It's
Right.
a requirement, right?
Right. So
Okay.
they see the pictures.
Okay. So at the 10-year mark, you all you have kind of reached the height of your magical prowess. Has anything happened? Do y'all do anything to try and time travel before then, or is this 10 years kind of dedicated to raising them?
Oh, just raising the quintuplets. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. I'm guessing not. So you're saying in 10 years I would be level 20 at this, which means at this point,
Which, if you'd like to, like,
I
go up to
could
level 20 and see what spells are available and whatnot.
I could contact other plane, and I think at this point we would begin talking about maybe finding a genie. Air Genasi are usually the most favorable, and see if we could get what it would take for us to get a wish spell to
I
go
mean,
home.
how do the kids react to hearing about everything?
The dragons revere you, and while you begin to see their animalistic nature come out, you see the evidence of the hoarding mentality.
Yeah.
They're carnivorous animals at some fundamental level, but they're highly intelligent, highly magical. They are willing to consider this. Why don't we do this? Why don't y'all make persuasion checks
At level 20,
at level 20?
I got a lot of. What do I just press next? I don't even know what to choose.
I don't. That's going to take a lot.
I mean, you don't have to go through all of it now. Just make a
Okay.
persuasion check, and we'll see how interested they are.
Nat 20
Whoa!
for a 32.
32. Okay.
That
Damn.
was the time to roll a Nat 20.
That is
Oh, yeah.
fantastic.
I got a 23.
23.
I
You
think
all-
that's your only natural
You
in
all
this
are
whole
killing
campaign.
it as parental figures here, and your parents for all intents and purposes, right? They are bought into this, and even when you see, as the 10 years and on tends to go out, you are seeing their natural. It's starting to make sense, the clashes and conflicts that they had, and without guidance, whoever was kind of the strongest or the most domineering tended to win. And so Belladros, might have been principled, but she got outvoted or got outmatched, and Shadrax really just didn't care. Winning was more important. You begin to see these trends, and you're able to intervene at those moments to teach them some of these things and tell them the consequences of these actions.
I don't think at any point we ever said who was gonna be bad or good.
Yeah. Sure. We're just talking about
Good cop, bad cop. Is that what you
Jordy.
mean?
We talked about
No,
Jordy.
we didn't say Belladros, you watch out.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she's the bad one. No, we
Yeah.
absolutely didn't. We just said this is the ways that you guys fell apart.
That we're on the same page.
100%. No, we're not vilifying her.
At about so in the original timeline, it was about the 100-year mark that Strixhaven was birthed. And it wasn't a whole campus at that point. It was just we've learned a lot of magic, and we might as well share this with others. And so they start planning and talking about this school and this place. How do you guide them on the purpose of the school and some things to think about. You had a lot of criticisms about the way they set it up the first time. How do you guide them?
They should intervene.
Yeah. And if you're going to create this place of deep, rich learning that's going to attract people, there has to be a purpose for it. People have to know, and you have to understand, if you create chaos, it's going to destroy you ultimately.
I think it should be like a safe place to learn, and I think that they should intervene when it's about the safety of the students.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they begin charting out what this might be as the decades go by. Let's say you do find the genies, and over the course of time you're able to parlay with them, and a wish is offered to
Indigo's
you.
been like dragging her feet, like this is kind of hard for her to leave.
Oh.
babies.
You don't have to. Nobody's
No,
making
she does
you.
have to. It's just hard.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we take like some sort of like portrait where like we're a little bit disguised and it's like up in Strixhaven somewhere and it's like a little Easter egg, you know?
Right.
Oh.
We do that.
Are you in your dragon form perpetually at this point, or do you go in and out of it?
I think that they know that I go in and out of
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
So,
Brian.
what I'm going to say then, just to finish, because I know we're taking a lot of time here, but we do this thing. Kids understand what we're doing. We say all the goodbyes, see you soon, all of that stuff. And right as the genie is casting the spell, I'm going to go like, oh my gosh, my shoelace, and hold this. And I hand you the bag of holding that I have, and suddenly the spell casts and you go.
Just me.
Just you.
This fucking guy. Oh.
Because I would have telepathically told the genie, by the way, don't, like, I'm not going, just send her.
Wow. This fucking guy to rule them all.
What's
And no one was even here to this fucking guy him at that.
But in his head he knew. He knew.
So
I do. Like, I could hear it through time. Oh my god.
wait? Does that mean I don't get my key back?
No, it does,
It's
because
in the bag of
in the bag of holding is all y'all's stuff.
Wow, you weren't worried about our fucking friend?
I was worried about both.
He
So
promised
you
to
stay
see him
behind.
again.
You stay behind.
I do. And in theory, and I don't want to like jump scenes, when you get to the future, when you all arrive.
okay, can we hold that thought?
Yep.
Because I don't know what's going to happen in the future yet.
Then, yeah.
Okay.
Hold that thought.
Oh boy.
Well, they'll have a message for me when they encounter them.
Oh, okay.
So
Fucking guy.
Okay,
is-
let's play that for when that happens.
Okay.
When do you go?
He goes mad.
Like to what time are you wished?
I'm gonna say Strixhaven day 1.
Okay, your original, like 28, what'd I say, 28, 49.
49.
Okay, so day 1 of Strixhaven when you were there. We're going to say that 20 years have passed since the dragons were born. That's when you were able to...
Yeah, okay.
No, it needs to be more than that. We're going to say 40 years have passed for you to find the genie, earn their trust. The dragons are kind of in their late teens at this
Wait, but when I
point.
get to Strixhaven, like, do I look 60?
Jordy did.
Well,
Well,
in
you're a
my
half
level
elf.
20 self,
yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna say
do a little...
60 you
Well, you're
probably
half
looking,
elf, right?
You're looking
So-
primes.
Yeah. Like you just hit your...
You can't tell the difference between 20 and 60?
Yeah, not
For a half elf, not
No.
usually.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you want it. Do you want to look older?
No.
Oh, okay.
Totally getting some
I don't know
work done.
what you're going for. Okay, we'll come back to you.
I still got to look for
The
bank.
four of you,
And Rick.
the four of you plus Bracken and Jesse, show up in at the same spot that you left only 1,750 years later. When you show up, it is a beautiful day. In the center of campus is not a... is a building that resembles very closely the Biblioplex. It's not as sophisticated as what you saw 1,000 years later, but it is being constructed, and it is there. And you see the Dawn Bow there, which is the floating rocks archway over there. Only it is not called the Biblioplex. You see a big sign on it that says the Promenade.
Yeah, okay.
Which is Obi's last name. Did y'all catch that? Okay, good.
Oh, I did not catch that. So that's nice.
okay.
That's really nice.
Because it was also like a word.
Yeah.
Okay. Promenade.
As you show up, this campus does not look like it has started to form the way you had conventionally known it to be. Where you were standing there right in the middle of what, outside the Biblioplex, you are used to seeing walkways that are distinctly going to these 5 different directions away from the Biblioplex. And they're themed, whether they're dirt roads to Witherbloom or, beautiful, ornate bridges to Strixhaven. There doesn't appear to be a lot of specialization. It's almost like the campus has built itself around. And as you look around, you don't see students that are in different houses and classes like you're used to, different colored cloaks and whatnot. Students seem to be very intermingled. And as you show up, it is the start of a school day. And you know that today, as you kind of pick up from just the buzz around campus, that today is the day that a new oracle is selected. And it has been a fully democratic process. It has been overseen by a Ministry of Magic that's reassured the election, and the popular vote will stand.
Hell yeah.
Who is it?
I'd like to meander to wherever the procession is, or the pulpit of whoever wins will give their speech, or the general quad.
So you'll remember last time this happened at the Aerojaunt Mage Tower Stadium, right? Which is there. It is beautiful. It's much, again, simpler than what you know 1,000 years from now. It looks far more primitive. It's more like the Hogwarts Quidditch Stadium, just wooden, kind of nailed together. The one you did was very sleek and curved and ornate and whatnot. But as you go and everyone's kind of filling in, you see all 5 Founder Dragons there, and they are liberally intermingling with everybody. You see professors and deans and students. There doesn't seem to be this sense of separation that the dragons kind of had before. They are on campus, and they're in the middle of all of them.
Play kids.
You see this lavender-skinned dragonborn woman that you have seen from pictures is Koldana Melchizedek.
Do we see Obi anywhere in the stage or anything?
Do we see the dragons anywhere?
Yeah, they're like...
Oh, there it is.
All the dragons are there, intermingling. They're in their human form, so they're a little easier to mingle with. They're dressed in what you would have considered in modern times old-timey clothes. That would have probably been appropriate to 1,000 years before. But yeah, you see
We should
them.
put that in AI
Are they-
and figure out what that would
Do
be.
they appear happy, like they're getting along? That
Yeah,
this is a good...
they really do.
Okay.
Mhm.
Guys, did we do it?
I'd like to, but this looks good, right?
I think this looks good.
I mean, I haven't seen Obi yet, but I mean...
Talk to them.
I mean, he's probably around.
How would you know? How would they know?
Do they,
You didn't expect
should
us
they
to be
go in there
along
and do
around that long.
themselves? We're still their heirs, right?
Yeah, you
Well, I
want...
guess, how long did they... Maybe they already went to the... Maybe they already did their spell and got back to present time.
I mean,
Yeah.
we can't live 1,700 years.
Well, yeah, but we didn't know if you were going to come meet us here or not.
So we just
Uh,
go and say, hey.
Well, yeah, you want to go... Want to go see if these dragons know who we are?
Oh,
Yeah.
are we just gonna like walk up to them?
Yes.
Yeah, I
We're
think
kinda like a
Abby and
big
I go
deal,
to
right?
Gran.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, but are we gonna like?
Yeah, we're just walking up. We don't give a shit.
Are we like fucking with anything?
Well,
By
no.
doing that?
I mean, we're gonna read the room. We're gonna see how they're doing.
All right, cool.
Hey, girl.
Hey.
So as you walk up, Chessie actually begins to outpace you and runs up to Fairy Belladros and just, I mean, is so excited. You see this recognition of this baby, the sense of
the
smell.
brother.
He knows, Chessie knows exactly who these dragons are. And as Belladros looks down, and you see this look of confusion come across her face. She looks down, and you see she's almost kind of smelling the dog, and there's this sense of familiarity she can't place that doesn't make sense to her. But right behind her, you see this turquoise-haired, curly-haired man step up and be like, "Oh my God! It's you!"
Is that gal?
Yes.
I would love to do the big ant energy of just be like, oh my God, last time I saw you guys, you were like this big.
Gal runs up, starts, like, gets down, hugs you, hugs Garrett. Belladros, like, is just a second behind him in recognition and begins to piece it together. This is the most light, unbridled, untortured, and untormented grandmother that you have never seen. You almost don't recognize her demeanor. You still see that strength that you always prized in her and respected about her. But you see this, she's not as guarded as you remember and not as bitter as you might remember.
I think Delta has a hard time forgetting old Gran. Like, we're just...
Are you going to start a her
No,
villain story?
Delta's happy that this is how Gran turned out, but Gran was kind of a bee.
Yeah.
And left some deep scarring that Delta has to work through.
And like, why couldn't you be better for me?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Little better. Or our parents, for that matter. We still don't know the role she played, but, like, ripped our family apart.
Still think that deserves a D100 for the percentage that she was responsible.
But Delta doesn't want to show that on her face. That's
Okay. Make a deception check. See if she...
At what
Freaking
level?
dragon.
just add another +3 to it.
Okay. You said deception?
Yeah.
Wait, do we still have a ripped in half picture, or do we just have a picture?
You have whatever you had when you left, and nothing about time has changed that.
Sorry, it's taking me just... Okay.
Hi, Jimmy.
Wow, deception is not for me.
She reads you like a book.
11 plus 5, 16.
That's the most painting. No poker face.
Wow, we're just rolling over here.
One of the dragons catches onto it.
Oh, okay.
But doesn't say anything. Velomachus is the one that, as all of them are looking, because again, these dragons aren't as attached to you individually,
Right.
You were a group, and all of you left, so they know whatever Indigo and Ovi told them about their ancestry, but emotionally, sentimentality-wise, they don't. It's not like Bella prefers you over someone, right? She knows all of you and knows your story and knows the role that you played in their salvation, right?
Just a little bit more history there than we're letting on, kind of thing.
Right. Well, it's all theoretical for them, right? So you get as Velomachus in his Indiana Jones hat and Shadrax in his priest robes come in. They are ecstatic to see you. Can't believe that you've made it. What a surprise! We had no idea. And again, Velomachus just kind of cocks his head and kind of this curiosity. For them, you were authority figures. You were parental. In your first timeline, they were the authority. So there's a role reversal that's kind of happening there. You get that. But still this deep level of respect for you all. You're invited to sit on the stage with them. and they tell everybody, like, you guys, like, these are the kinds of things that magic is capable of. And as we combine our powers and collaborate, which is what Strixhaven stands for, is not that any one specific magic is used, but that we look at how much stronger magic is together. You hear them start parroting some of these principles that you talked about before you left, and you see that really has settled in their minds and in their hearts, and has created a whole different kind of experience where they're not segregated, that they have really come together. And they announce, that with great pride, that Koldana Melchizedek, there's no such thing as the College of Silverquill. She's just an excellent dean that has risen to the ranks and can be there. And as she goes to give kind of her acceptance speech, she begins to talk about the principles of Strixhaven, which sound completely foreign to you. And she says, Strixhaven has always been about the service that it can do to the planes and the peoples and the creatures and the communities and the tribes and the nations all over the place. And it is our responsibility to use the magic that we have been taught and the magic that we learn to better the world around us and to right the wrongs. And she begins to talk about how she intends to expand that and how she uses her skills. You get the sense as she gives the speech that she's not maybe going anywhere, that she actually will play a role on campus. And through you kind of get through some context clues, the dragons are here almost all the time. They are deeply involved in what is going on at Strixhaven. They haven't abandoned it to go explore their things. They actually are committed to working on this all together. And Koldana, who seems to have very much a warrior's kind of spirit and warrior's build, is going to continue to raise up the next generation of peacekeepers that would go out to the multiverse, if you will. And that's kind of her charge. At no point in time do you really get the sense that the Hells or the invitation to the Hells is on her mind as she comes into this.
I just want to grab Delta's hand and be like, hey, do you want to just go get shit-faced somewhere?
I do. Okay. Without Bracken? Or with Bracken?
Bracken is not welcome for this.
Okay.
Little sister.
Bracken's the butt of this campaign, just He's just hanging up. It's
Is this good?
Okay, what do y'all do in your little sisterly commiserating?
Talk about family.
Yeah, we're just getting drunk and talking shit.
It's a therapy session.
Yeah, it 100% is.
Like when you're in the car after Thanksgiving.
This is...
Oh, do we have parents?
What happened
Yeah.
to them?
Well, not for 1,000 years. but-
Okay.
This is kind of fucked though, right?
Wow, I didn't even get to say bye to Mom.
They're gonna see
What?
your
You
kid.
gotta have another wish spell. We're not gonna stay here.
Oh, I guess this is true. I forgot. You're not here.
They're already drunk.
They think they're talking to each other, but they're really talking out loud.
Yeah, she thinks she's doing the contact thing, but she's just accidentally staring off at a stranger, and he's like, what the fuck?
Their express was really bad.
I would like to go to Gal and just say hey, this all looks great. I'm really proud of you and what you all have done and built. This was kind of one of the stops we wanted to make just to see you all and see how things were looking and I'm really happy that you're as involved as you are, and in particular you.
For this conversation, you'll remember in your session 0, he shrinks himself down to halfling size so that he's talking to you. Everything but his hair changes size. Yeah. So he's just sitting in this mountain of curly turquoise hair coming out of this little halfling body. But he gets down to have that eye-to-eye contact with you, and he is thrilled. I mean, he is clearly not as traumatized and broken as any of the gals that you have met to date. And you see that he is living into this identity. But again, your relationship with this gal is him thinking you're incredible. And you made this huge sacrifice, and here you are traveling through time to see them. And so he considers that an incredible affirmation of who he is and what he has accomplished in the last 1,700 years. You know, in a sense, you are somewhat of a parental, you're like an uncle to him that he was always told childhood stories about.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's really just my message is like, I'm proud of what you've done, and I hope you stay involved and invested in this thing that you all are creating.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything you want to do?
Yeah, I think I'd like to go talk to Dr. V. Similar idea of Garrett, of just like expressing my well wishes for how everything's going, but then also ask how their parents are, and like, do you know, can you find them in time?
Dr. V looks at you and says, Ovi, our father, was the most influential person in our lives. And he used every moment to make sure that we understood what right and wrong was, and that we had a role to play, and that if we worked together, we could change time. And that's what we've dedicated our lives to.
Dad.
I wanted there to be a letter.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's tag this in now.
So there's
Now it's with her though in the future, right?
Okay, so I think I misunderstood the future. So now are there 2 indigos at Strixhaven? That's not what
Well,
I
there
meant to
is.
happen.
In 2849.
That was definitely not what Indigo was going for.
the letter just basically said, I am really sorry, but Ovi was beginning to piece together that he thought if he went back, because his parents didn't exist, whatever would be there would be like an echo or a fake parent or a parent that he stole to borrow. It just started feeling weird. So he stayed. It's like that I died basically. And he really tried to let Shadrax know you died and my life was lost because you all couldn't figure this out. So get it right. And so I wanted there to be an extra pressure on them to understand, like, they only get really one shot at this. And they are
You made sure they knew I didn't like abandon them, right?
No.
Oh,
Right,
right.
like,
We're going back. They
And your
understood,
mom
and
went
then-
to get
and-
some cigarettes and never came back.
Yeah, no. So they know they're looking for you in the future because they get it. But they all also understand, like, you all have lives that you get to return to.
And so Ovi lived for probably another 40 years or
Yep.
so after you left with them, and got to see Strixhaven 1.0 get started before Ovi died.
Good.
Now, that doesn't mean that y'all couldn't go back at some point in time, but that's what has happened in the year 1750.
Right.
Yo, Gareth, where's this Fates card, my guy?
I left it at my other jacket. Look at the time. Let's go to
Oh
Strixhaven.
my god. It is the most baller thing. Do something
Wait, is
with
it time for Strixhaven?
I think after MacGruber gets that letter from Ovi,
Now again, that hasn't happened because he gave it to Indigo, who is in the year 28.
No. I gave it to the dragons to give to them when they showed up. That has just happened.
So they've been holding this and when
Specifically
the
Shadrax.
direct Shadrax was supposed to open this when they showed up next.
Yeah, to give it to them.
Got it. So they have read it.
Indigo's the
Let's say, because I think this is a beautiful family moment, that after all the festivities of the Oracle, that y'all have a little like family get together. And Shadrax, do you want him to, were the directions for him to read it out loud?
No, he's
No, I
delivered
totally misestimated what was happening.
He was?
He just delivered it to the.
But
It was
I knew
addressed
it was
to the. He knows
serious
what's in
FOMO.
it.
So Shadrax gave you a letter from Obi.
Yes.
Got
Well, I
it.
mean, Indigo kind of knows. Like,
When she pops up, she's
It's
like,
worse.
"What the?"
It's
right,
freaking worse.
because you don't know.
So y'all all heard this whole "I'm sorry"
Yeah.
letter.
God
I
damn
have
it,
it, by the
Obi.
way.
Can we get this fucking guy?
I think MacGruber would ask the dragons if he could enroll in Strixhaven
Right now?
Right
in
now.
this time?
in 1750.
Guys, no more curveballs.
Because the whole ghost parent thing really fucks me up. I'm not trying to see like a caricature of my family, and then also deal with myself. Like all I wanted to do was to come to magic school and learn how to do it all.
Oh, it must have been really hard to not be an orphan.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah,
reality is,
my
you
life's
become your
great because I
great-grandpa.
don't have any parents.
Right,
So-
nothing to miss.
Oh, weird. That's like a little
So
predestination there.
So I think I would prefer to just live out, like enroll here and just do it. Because I'm gonna be dead long before.
Yeah.
What are your aspirations? Like, would you want to teach here?
Yeah,
Would you
I
like
think-
to become
yeah.
like
Become a
He wants to be
professor.
an oracle for sure.
Are you going to become an Oracle of Strixhaven?
Oh, that would be sweet. I didn't think about it.
That was like one of your dreams one time.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I definitely faculty, and yeah, if Oracle plays out, I wouldn't be against
Okay,
it.
let's say that you become an Oracle. Well, again, I'm assuming the rest of you are leaving, right?
Go with yourself.
I
Yeah.
think,
Garrett and the three fairies
I think
are going to
the fairies
head
are peacing
back
out.
to...
And Bracken.
Okay.
And Bracken.
Well, he's one of the three. Right?
Oh yeah,
Where are
three
you guys
fairies.
going? Because Indigo wants to do whatever she can to get to where they're
Okay,
going.
we'll go there. We're going to say you have your goodbyes. You see, I'm going to say you tour campus for a day or two just to kind of see what they're doing. Is that
Can
fair?
we do one of the parties that we did like the first time? Is that still a thing? Remember we all got like shroomed up or something? I'd like to do that again.
Whatever the like medieval version of that is, because that's kind of the equivalent,
Like
right?
licking a frog.
Like a-
Yeah, one last
Like a
rating.
frog.
I would love a little frat party. That would be fun.
Love it. So as you do that, you experience what you're going to experience. The dragons show you all that they've built, and it's amazing. You see where this trajectory that they're going on, and MacGruber decides to do this. But eventually, y'all get to the point. So it's up to Hattie to get to the snarl and use your final wish spell to get back to the future. I have expected you to do your little nose wiggle like the bewitched girl. Like,
Yeah.
ding-a-ding-ding.
Hold on. 15%.
So my only question then is, as the Oracle, what is the gift you give Strixhaven with your time and your power?
Oh,
Or
that's
where do you leave them? What's your legacy?
Wait, you're the Oracle now?
He becomes one.
Well, in the past, I will be like the. I'll be like MacGruber the Builder. I'll like flesh out the whole campus. I'll make everything
like
more
update,
modern.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like me and Construct and Taurus will kind of form a pact of
Amazing.
of creating jobs for like the everyman, and then like automated services for all the students for just like quality of life improvements.
Awesome.
It's fun.
And just gotta build. I'm gonna build hidden in the promenade, like a large homage to the Tap Pack.
Yes.
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 Can it be like animatronic? like a Chuck E. Cheese, and then like in 1,000 years, it actually becomes like a whole thing.
Yeah,
It'll be like Chuck E. Cheese, and then the Inferno band will come out behind and
Yeah,
play a song.
Incendio.
Or Incendio, that's what it was, yeah.
Okay, love it. All right, the four of you, the three remaining of you, so Garrett, Hattie, and Delta, from Bracken, show up in the year 2849. Do you want to get more specific? Is it day one of a school year? Like when Indigo? Like, do y'all all show up at the same time?
Yeah, day one. Strixhaven.
Yeah.
We hop off the
Okay.
Strixhaven Express.
Yep.
As you do this, you look
You guys,
over and
I'll
you
be
see
freaking
a
asleep.
slightly older
I know,
Indigo.
you guys look so young, you're so beautiful.
Do we have the message from that the dragons gave us? Like now we can deliver it
Yeah.
to Indigo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who literally just wants to happen, yeah.
Hey Indigo. Here's
Yeah,
the
Obi freaking just left me. He just stayed with the kids and I had to leave them all and I don't know what's happening. And
Well,
now
here's a letter that just explains that he died.
but his parents still could have been born. Like, what do you think their parents are going to be like? I don't understand. Why is he just abandoning us? And he didn't even tell me. He just was gone.
You also notice that MacGruber is not with the group.
Where's me freaking going?
Guys, I'm super worried about Obi. First of all, don't be because he's dead.
Will Izzy ever coming back?
Fuck. Mandy, please.
Oh, okay.
I thought we were a pack.
We are.
I know, we were a pack, but we made a pit stop
He had
to
to
make sure that
sacrifice
we were on
himself.
track.
We made a pact.
And we talked to the dragons, and they gave us Obi's letter,
Brian's crying.
and I'm just so upset about it.
So this is
I
Obi's
get
fault.
really emotional, guys. Obi.
Your face card.
But while this is happening, don't
No,
you all
that's against
see...
his will.
Don't you, while this is happening day one, don't you guys suddenly see a MacGruber and an OV appearing?
What do you mean? Oh,
Like
yeah.
OG.
As day one. Yep. So
Yeah.
now here's the thing is without the invitation from okay, let's collaborate on this. Do we think we're at the end of the campaign? Do we think the dragons would have kept up with their lineage?
I don't know.
Because none of you, until the dragons revealed themselves, had any clue that they were dragons.
Yeah.
They seem completely different in this, and as they've gone through time,
I guess now I
things have
prefer to be the one and
happened.
only Indigo.
The one and only Indigo.
I would like the other Garrett to still exist.
I want to grab Obi by the face and say, "You're a dragon, Obi."
I think Shadrax would have followed just to make sure that there was an OV and an OV got to me.
Mm-hmm.
But
Because they would have
this
all known
always
that this
does.
is the time when all of you
Yeah.
were supposed to show up, right?
So but you guys are.
Correct.
right, we don't have
We don't-
tattoos.
We don't know you.
We finally got rid of them. Why didn't we leave
Well,
Garrett back then too?
That's not how. What I'm saying is that's not how your future selves would have been recruited to this. You wouldn't
Do you
have had
think your
the special
future-
assignments. You
No,
wouldn't
it
have
probably
needed these
would-
exclusion tattoos, right? So
Probably
you
be like a normal
are a
admission
legacy,
process. Yeah,
right?
just like my
You're a
parents
legacy.
went here because we,
Yep.
like,
Yep. So
Our
as
future should be, yeah.
as
I
the
was gonna say,
six of
no.
your doppelganger. Sorry, we're talking over each other. Say that again, Brian.
No, you do it. You're good.
The six of you show up, and I didn't make this note. Here's some students who you knew who also still show up. Rampart, Javi, Brilly, who was the one-eyed angel chick, with the there. Vivara, Bank, Mayhem, Eliwick, Virik, and Ollie. Aurora, which is a little bit of a surprise because she is half vampire. Jaxie, Moxie, the purple-haired tiefling chick. Bracken, Zin Moira, and Lorene all show up.
No Christmas.
Students and faculty who are notably absent, there is no Geordie, there is no Sirs, there is no Kithri, there is no Caraway, and there is no Crispin, who y'all never really interacted with. He was the transgender fawn. He was a better idea than character. You also do not see any evidence of the following professors. No Grimhilda, no Baltazar, the floating blood vial, no 4873, the demonic machine that led the profane school, no Casimir, no Osmagod, and no Spade of Threes.
Do these people still exist?
Yes, just are not invited to Strixhaven.
Got it.
So did we really do the balance thing?
Sounds like it, though. I mean,
Well, we're a little weighted to the good
yeah,
on purpose.
they wouldn't have come here. I mean, we knew that Rivian, the demon professor,
She does teach here.
Oh, she does. Interesting.
Sex magic isn't evil.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, like
Fucking
demon-
rude.
We don't kink shame here at Strixhaven.
So
Well, another individual that is here is Jadzi. She is the reigning oracle that you would have remembered, the kind, sweet old woman.
She never got rid
But she actually stays here on campus. All oracles stay on campus. The dragons stay on campus. They are intimately involved in what goes on. And 1,000 years since you have seen them, the campus is so much more sophisticated than you ever knew it to be. The mechanical and the magical are working side by side. You see so much evidence that students are being prepared for very practical things, not just academics, but being a force for good in the world. You do see in very much higher levels of schooling supervised and calculated trips to some of the planes like the Abyss and the Hells for study and observation. But there's no evidence that students of a nefarious nature are kind of walking freely and allowed to practice this magic. No evidence that the teachers are not allowed to be involved is obvious to you in any way. And you see these campaigns and these invitations that Strixhaven has grown to have this reputation in the multiverse, but in a very active way. It is not this selfish, come tell us what we can learn about you, but it's very participatory. And you see a lot of travel. The pools that get you all over are all over campus. The ones that used to be on Prismari that can get you to all these other planes of existence. There are wildlands and there are creatures kind of spread out among all these places. You see shrines to gods and goddesses all over the place, not just one single omni cathedral, but dedicated spaces so that every god is given their rightful time and attention, and worshipers can worship them individually and specifically. You see and begin just even very quickly seeing magic that is collaborative. It is chaotic and interesting and mechanical and elemental, and it is incredible what your dragons have made.
Oh.
Well
yeah.
done.
I turned to everyone and was like, guys, I'm going to use this face card.
Oh my god, finally.
So, in my session 0, I was in a town with my dad, Mikas, and we were going to do this scheme, and then Sir showed up and pretty much just took over, and he and Mikas are gonna do their thing and like leave me out of it. So I'm gonna use my face card to interrupt said scheme and just like plant like a bunch of police at like one spot where I know they were going to, so that they both get caught.
Perfect. Do you want to
That's
be
it?
there? So this isn't, we're in epilogue stage now. So as you are now in your present time trying to figure this out, you are spending time kind of figuring out how to orchestrate this. And you were able to use this. You pull out this card that's kind of gotten a little frayed around the edges, and you speak this incantation and throw it into the ether. And all of a sudden you see these two terrible human beings getting their just dues.
There we go.
Nice.
I use my face card. That's all I got. And then-
Hattie Delta, what do y'all... Go ahead, Brian.
I was going to say, we'll just continue then, all in my story. After I do that, I'm going to say my goodbyes, and
To who?
I'm to everybody. And
Accept it.
Ogie.
right, and I'm a Prismari, and my natural instinct is to be on adventures and to travel different planes of existence, and so I'm going to explore the pools and planes that Gal took me on when we first met.
I love that.
Beautiful.
You all are welcome to join me if anyone would like to, but that's my plan.
Excellent.
I'll be around though. I'll be around.
I don't know, as your bunkmate, I feel a little inclined to do that, but I'm not.
Oh,
You have a lifetime.
But he's dead.
Fucking savage tonight.
thank you.
What do the twins do?
Yes. What did the twins?
But I would like to keep in touch and maybe meet up with you.
Oh, there it is.
You know.
Y'all still have the SOS bracelets.
Oh, perfect. When you get to a cool place, just like tap it and I'll come.
The next beach you're at.
Very school version of me. Like I grab Delta's hand and I write my number on her hand. And I just,
Hacks. Hacks.
yeah.
It's like
Love you like a sister, Lawless. The twins do switch spots every now and then just to get a little taste of the other's life.
Are your parents together in this timeline? We were going to roll a D100.
Let's do it.
What's the percentage chance that they are, Shelby?
That our parents are together?
Is it 50-50, or do you think that odds are better or worse?
Well, that's what I was going to determine how much Beladros being evil had to do with them breaking up. Because that would
Ooh.
impact, right?
That would impact it.
Mm-hmm.
So do we roll for that and then roll
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you want to roll?
Okay, higher is better.
I'll roll for the Beladros impacts.
Okay, and then I'll roll once we decide that.
So what are we
We
looking
got
for?
the D. You'll roll both of
He-
them.
She was only 28% at fault. However, that is over 1/4.
Yep. Okay. She may not have been a
She's
natural
gonna use
parent.
a whole bunch
you know?
of math to prove how that's actually a big
Again,
number.
this is because it was your dad, right? That was the, or was it your mom? Who was the actual heir?
I think my mom, right?
I
don't
think
know.
you're right. I think it was,
my mom. Or my mom.
right?
Mom's side.
Ma.
Mom.
Okay.
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 So Beladros was 28% responsible for that
She
entire...
didn't. No one was good for. What was your mom's name?
Moira?
Was it
Myra?
Yes.
Mora? Yeah. Well,
Moira
because we did
Rose?
Zen Mora.
Hold
Mora?
on. It was Mora. M-A-U-R-A.
M-A-U-R-A. Mara. Yeah. No one was good enough for Mara.
Okay.
Alright.
Not even what's
Roll
his
it.
face.
So now you gotta roll.
That's not what are we rolling?
74.
And this was, what were we rolling
To
for?
see if
So
they're
higher
still
is
together.
better.
74 seems like a high
Yeah.
percentage,
So
right?
I
Yeah.
guess they're still together.
Yeah.
So despite Bella not being super helpful in this, maybe even trying to sabotage it at some point, they did power through. And the Hattie and Delta that live here now did grow up with parents.
And each
So
other.
then-
Well, actually, let's say at a 74, they did split up for a little while. But they've made it
And
back.
they're back together.
They stayed together for the kids.
Because, like, do we really need to...
Song.
They
Sure,
dropped
wait.
the twins off at a summer camp. And in their middle school, high school years.
Yeah.
Okay. So we don't need to switch spots since we are together.
But that doesn't mean you don't switch identity sometimes.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that'd
you'd
be
be
fun.
like switching with yourself now at this point.
That's right,
Oh.
because you're only a year older than the Hattie and Delta that are here. Maybe the four of you do something.
Oh god.
Oh my
That's so trippy. I have a hard time following
Yeah, like
that.
your parents still split.
That's gonna be the
This
spin-off.
time,
That's the
Hattie
spin-off.
and Delta are really close.
Great.
I'm
my
just fucking off to the woods, guys.
Like, you know what?
Like,
How
y'all are cool. You know, every once in a while I trade places with Delta to like go to a party or something, but I'm just fucked off
Well,
to the
Delta
woods.
doesn't want to stay here.
Can you and Jimmy roleplay the conversation with Bracken and how that's gonna happen? What do you tell Bracken?
You guys, there's nothing to tell Bracken.
Now
We
there's
haven't
two
had.
fucking brackets.
Okay, but you're
We
never.
had-
Sorry,
One-
you weren't prepared for
Oh,
Because there's another Bracken, too.
him.
You're fucking off to the woods instead.
Should Bracken just hook up with his younger
He
self?
knows where the woods are. He stayed with us.
Are you telling him that you're going to the woods?
I think everyone knows I'm going to the woods.
Okay, so you're ghosting
Alright.
him.
I would
All right.
like to go back to the Orchid Shire, and I would like to work in the mom shop. That is,
Okay.
I've dabbled in the magic in it one, and I'm not interested. I'm not
Okay.
interested now, especially since Gran is not an ass. The name can continue on in a good fashion. I don't feel like I have to save anything.
So obviously Mara knows that, like, you tell her the whole, like,
Sure.
I am, but I'm not, but I am,
Yeah.
but I'm not. And how much do you tell her about your timeline?
Given that we are pretty close, the OG, me and her,
Yeah.
I'd probably tell her all of it.
Okay.
Pretty darn close to it.
Okay.
And she's gonna think I'm crazy.
After a period of time, Bracken graduates and becomes the king, like he inherits the throne of Orchidshire.
Oh my god. Yes.
Eventually.
And then you speak back into his life and be like, hey!
And then I Princess Diaries the hell out of the second movie.
So do you just want to, is there anything else that you want to do as this kind of changing of the guards, this passage of time happens?
I think I go with Gareth sometimes. I
Okay.
think he'd tap me.
Okay.
Whoa.
So does Hattie...
We're not doing phrasing
Yeah,
anymore.
this is the booty call for his
Right?
Which totally would have become.
Yeah, great. Fabulous.
Hey, you up? It's
Like,
you
eternal
up.
bachelor, eternal bachelorette, right? No ties.
I would also like to think that Hattie would use the SOS watch, so we could still be sisters.
Would it be logical, Shelby, to think that Hattie would... Because, again, Mom and Dad now live together, probably in Orchidshire, and there's probably the vineyard, but Nick probably doesn't live there. Because,
Yeah, I
you know...
think
So
I
do you
live
take
there.
over the vineyard?
Yeah, and I like grow some sort of magical shit that Delta uses to like dye the dresses or do
Love
something.
it.
Love it.
I'm growing some kind of thing
Yeah.
to like really up our game.
But still just a little reclusive. Like you and nature and Chessie and just kind of... You have your spot, you work hard.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I mean,
You're kind of
left
off the grid.
this is
I left the farm and shit was weird.
best
So
case scenario for our parents though, because now they have the legacy of us running the family business, but also
Yeah.
they don't have to worry about us choosing between magic or the business. So now they just get they get the family part, and the other two are pursuing magic and doing their thing.
I think too that's what ultimately doesn't work for Hattie and Bracken. Like there continues to be a lot of like love and tension and those types of things, but ultimately like the end goal is that he becomes the king, and that's not what Hattie wants to do. He's not trying to like be a queen living in a palace wearing gowns. And so it's like a very back and forth thing with them. Until finally, when he becomes king, it's like, okay, but now, like, we really can't do this.
He's just queen. Yeah, you don't want to be a queen, dang.
Well, I love this ending so much. I didn't want to throw in the like it would be this timeline's Bracken that becomes king, not your Bracken. But because there's two of them. But I love your version of this better. So I don't know. I don't know if Bracken, if he even does marry.
Okay.
Because, I mean, if my Bracken didn't have to become king, which I feel like from session 0 was kind of his hope, then, like, we could run the vineyard together.
Oh.
What do you want?
Like as
This
friends,
is your
though?
epilogue. What do you want to happen?
You don't want Bracken.
I mean, yeah, that seems fun.
Okay.
Come on, bud.
Yeah. But y'all don't have to like get married and make it all serious. Like y'all just, kind of cohabitate.
And you like kind of owe him.
Or do you make
for
little fairy
finding
babies?
him
What do you
in
do?
this.
I mean, we're not trying to make babies, but we're not...
Nah.
It's not platonic.
Fair enough.
Comedically, I would like one time when Hattie's
Well, technically both of you could marry a Bracken.
when Hattie's at her cottage
Yeah,
thinking
Bracken.
she's in
Rubbing the
Nowheresville.
wrong way.
I invented him based on what you two told me your characters wanted. I literally put both of your descriptions into Bing Image Generator and picked the one that beat both of them.
Yeah, and he was hot, and then I was nothing to him because he thought I was her. So
Yeah.
So grew up with her. I mean,
yeah, but I don't want it.
okay.
Try
Just won't
again.
be
Try again.
seconds.
All right.
Love it.
I was gonna say one time when Hattie's in her reclusive cottage and she's got everything to herself, she hears a knock on the door, and at the door is Piper with a letter,
Oh.
and inside the letter, it just says, "A gift from me to you, sincerely, that fucking guy," and it's just your own telepathic contacts that I made.
I love that. Also, Jimmy, this is really only important for you and I as things, but I think that Hattie and Bracken decide that they're gonna like live this life together and run the vineyard together in that little spot that they were at before they went to Strixhaven when shit blew up.
Yep. I love it. I think that's perfect. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Because that really was when life was simple and
Yeah.
peaceful. Yeah. I love it.
Exactly.
Awesome.
So,
Well,
Drew, I
last but
thought
not
we were
least,
really gonna live
Indigo.
this out where you and me fell in love, but okay, I guess not.
Okay, right.
Indigo's feeling like she had to grow up a lot faster than she was planning on it. She definitely thought like she was gonna go back and like still get to have like her college years, and like no, she doesn't. But also maybe she would never trade that for the experience to be a parent to these dragons. So she just kind of like they probably all like live kind of close together, and if they didn't, she kind of like manipulated their way into all living together.
No. The second she shows up, they start going, Mom!
Of
right?
course, yeah.
She, like fall back into
Because
like,
you
the
can
mom
still do
thing.
the dragon form thing, right? Yeah. So yeah, and again, they all live on campus,
Yeah.
and so you want to be like I just imagine like Maggie Smith from Downton Abbey, right?
Yeah.
She's just kind of the dowager, like
And
you know.
Indigo's gonna get like the mom bob too. Like,
What happens to Indigo get it?
I don't know. Which, cause she doesn't get to be like level 20 like badass dragon, which stinks for her.
What? Why not?
I don't know. does she get the Stratera Opus? Does she have a reason to get the Stratera?
Are you talking about young?
Yeah,
like,
you're talking
like
about
your other?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Stratera Opus, but the dragons are using them pretty liberally, right?
Yeah.
So, but do you have anything to do with Indigo Get It?
No.
No. So you're changing the course
That's
of
why
life.
I like changed my hair.
So you're going to, yep.
Mom, Bob, do not rob me.
So you actually, out of everybody,
Yeah.
stay invested in Strixhaven and its future and continue to play a role of guidance and watch it grow. As you have another 200 years of life, you see oracles come and go, you see classes come and go, you see this evolution of technology and magic and science and exploration and dignitaries. As you watch Strixhaven over the years, you see that Strixhaven still is not a safe place because magic is not safe. And if you're going to explore, if you're going to push the boundaries, you're going to have issues. You're going to have things that need to be subdued. You're going to have magic that goes off wildly. You're going to have accidents. But by and large, you see the results of that investment that you spent 40 years investing in these creatures who have surpassed your wildest dreams in creating something that is impacting life as you know it. And as Strixhaven, over the years, you see it begin to expand in this kind of planet that is Arcavios. You begin to see it take up. It becomes far more than a school. It becomes a movement. And it becomes almost a nexus for magical training and mobilization, and you see the whole continent begin to become dedicated to creatures that bring their magic and the outer planes that bring their magic, and you see these. It almost becomes like the Men in Black, kind of, right? There's this whole underground society that is deeply dedicated to magic and its advancement. And you get to sit back and watch and engage as you want as things become something that changes time forever.
For 200 years. Till I die.
You would make an excellent McGonagall type character on campus.
Yeah.
That even the dragons listen to? Yes.
I'm the boss.
Friends, time for Strixhaven. Thank you all so much for a beautiful story. This was by far my favorite campaign that has happened yet, and I loved your characters. This is really, really special.
That was a lot of work. That was a lot of people to keep track of. Timelines.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Sure, you're welcome. You're welcome. What a journey. What I love most is that I've recorded all these, so we have the whole story kind of immortalized there with all your decisions and whatnot. So
I don't know if I needed this to end at the same time as the school year. Like, I've got nothing now.
You're done.
The school ending on a school year. Look at that.
Strixhaven, who saw that
It took
coming?
more than a
How
school
about
year.
that?
Yeah.
I won't say I did that on purpose, but I didn't.
I mean, we should just keep some Thursdays open.
That's right.
Fun games.
That's true. Seth and I have learned a lot of fun RPG games at this convention we went to. So stuff that's not nearly as long of a commitment or nearly as complex to learn. So stuff that we can do. Yeah.
Love it.
We have a RPG too, Benny.
Oh, shit.
Oh no.
Do I want this on the recording?
No.
No. All right. Bye, Strixhaven.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I'll bring it.